I get it, that's your man or whatever, but sometimes a mother bring you down. He stole this woman's money. There is nothing that I'm telling this woman that she's even trying to listen to. He has done a really good job of isolating Jennifer. I feel bad for Jennifer, but I will say she is a magnet for being scammed. She just had an entire documentary about getting scammed from some other guy, and I don't know, there's just something about Jennifer that she just doesn't have street smarts like that. But the difference is that your felon is currently stealing money from people today, tomorrow, yesterday.
Whatever you say.
This is your third scammer.
Whatever. Your opinion on me just don't hold no weight. Like,
let me ask you. You do love Jen, but do you understand what this is going to do? This is her and her man.
I don't give a.
She is going to pick him.
Okay? Why don't you talk about what's going on in your house? Like, your baby daddy, go pay his artist. He owe his artist. Don't his failed record company? Like, dude, don't you owe Meg? Don't you owe these people? Go pay these people. Won't you worry about that? Like, your daughter is living in the house with you. Y'all don't get no financial support because all his checks going to BMI. Why don't you talk about these kind of things? Like, I don't know. You're so invested in what Jen and Christian got going on, but you don't want to talk about the things that's going on in your household.
I don't know where all this hate and this shade is coming from.
Evelyn really has something against Black women. And I'm just going to go ahead and put it out there because I feel like every season she is trying to go in on a Black woman. And that's just real.
Hey, Auntie, can you go downstairs real quick and grab something for me? It's in a bag. No. We keep it real. We keep it transparent over here.
I live
downstairs in the media room. When you walk in,
you trying to bring a Black woman down. You trying to bring a Black man down. Like, cut it out.
It got toxic to the point where I wasn't going to bring this up, but I was actually physically abused, and I could have pressed charges. See, this is the thing that men don't come out and talk about.
Because yes, I am mama. I am taking care of these babies. And guess what? I want you to live your best life. Do what you want to do. Travel, see the world, live your best life. But stop causing chaos in other people's lives and not taking responsibility for what you have to do to fix it. Fix it. Stop not paying people back. Stop ignoring the fact that you owe child support. Stop pretending like, oh, life is so grand and we're rich and we have all this money and we're just living our best lives and we don't care what we're doing to everybody else. We're just just fuck everybody. We're living our best life. Okay, keep living your best life, but guess what? We're coming for you.
That's fine. We don't have to prove anything to anybody.
No. Because I love receipts too. And you should too.
So the heat between Evelyn Lozada and Jennifer Williams is heating up, and this is all behind the quote-unquote marriage that Jennifer Williams says she had take place in Paris with her now husband Christian Gold. The back and forth between these two, who were once best friends, have taken the internet by storm, and guess what? We about to get right on into it. Is y'all ready to talk about it? Let's juice.
Come on, Blaze.
It's a beef for me.
Wow, 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 for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Drop it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Do it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Come on, baby, we love.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl Voodoo Doll TV, back with a quick little juice or whatever the case may be. And girl, when I tell you this Jennifer Williams marriage is being given tea ever since the moment she dropped out of the sky with this man and told us that this is the one she's going to marry. People have been going and working overtime to figure out who he is, where he comes from, and a lot has recently come out about this Christian Gold. One of the things that's come out is allegedly he had been running a so-called Ponzi scheme where he was basically having people invest their money into his company and he'd be investing on their behalf. The problem is they weren't making any money, and the money that they were paying him or using to invest was literally disappearing. This caused for an entire situation to happen where a group of women, or a group of people, got together, decided to sue Christian, took him to court. This is all happening around the time him and Jennifer are scheduled to get married. But either way, he goes to jail. The judge allows him out just in time to get married, but come back from Paris and go right back to jail to finish his little 15-day sentence. And since then, the blogs have been going crazy about Jennifer possibly marrying the same kind of man she always married. As we've seen, she has a history of dating men that probably aren't the best. And then also, not only that, the people whose money was allegedly stolen, they have been out talking about how they want their money and how money was taken from them. And then also, a new season of Basketball Wives LA comes out, and it seems like Evelyn Lozada, who used to be the best friend of Jennifer Williams, has taken this time to use Christian Gold, Jennifer Williams, their marriage, the allegations, the fraud, and all that stuff. She's decided to use this as a storyline, and here we are. Now, before, the back and forth was really between Jennifer and Evelyn. For the most part, Christian would jump in every now and again, but for the most part, it was between them, and it's carrying out on the show. But now, Christian Gold's baby mother, who's allegedly owed child support, she has stepped in. Also, Christian Gold's aunt, who I've been told has been very aggressive about her nephew, she has stepped in and she's dragging Evelyn, talking about pot calling the kettle. Evelyn and Jennifer are still going back and forth. Christian has come out to speak about how basically he could have been a victim, or he was a victim to DV. It's a lot going on at this point. And we are going to jump right into those things because I think that it's important that we do. Now, let me say my personal feelings about this situation. I think that Jennifer is a very smart and attractive girl who seems to possess a lot of class and a lot of style. But what's really happening is what we're seeing is, yes, Jennifer has style. Yes, she has class, or she seemingly has class. And yes, she seemingly is a very smart and intelligent woman. But when it comes to her love life, my girl just can't get right. She just can't. She's as slow as a turtle. Sorry, I gotta say that part. Jennifer is. I think the problem with Evelyn and her butting in is, number one, she needs a storyline because she has nothing going on. And then number two, it doesn't seem like it's coming from a genuine place. I'm just being completely honest. But either way, these girls are going back and forth, and I got the tea for you, and we are gonna jump right into it. But before we do that, I want to get on Ty. Now, Ty is on Basketball Wives. She's a prior WNBA player. Ty also used to date Mimi Faust. She was also on the show Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. She's also real good with all the Atlanta girls, Toya, Tiny, all those girls. She is no stranger to reality TV. Well, recently here, Ty's ex, Mimi Faust, who's the baby mother of Stevie J, decided to come out on Carlos King's podcast and respond to Ty and basically call her a clout chaser and basically say that she only date reality TV girls because she needs to stay relevant. It's crazy. Now, y'all know Ty and Mimi was together. I think they were engaged or something like that. But either way, they've moved on to different things. Ty has moved on to people like Ming Lee and others, allegedly Brandy, a whole bunch of people. And obviously, Mimi has moved on as well. But according to Ty, Mimi just can't keep her name out her mouth and she's obsessed. Let's get into what Mimi had to say, and then we're going to follow up with Ty's response. Check this out.
So on Basketball Wives this season, I've loved this season. Ming Lee and Ty used to date, and she saw on Ty's phone that she was calling Juicidora for 50 hours. And Ty said that they had a conversation because she was going through a divorce. You know, Claudia thinks Ty's an opportunist. Do you, Mimi Faust, being in a relationship with her for how long was it?
Almost 7 years.
You were in a relationship with Ty for 7 years. Is Ty an opportunist who only dates women who are famous because of a come up?
After me, yes. I was her step on the ladder, and now it's, yes, 1,000%.
Why do you feel that way?
Track record. But it's, look at it. The whole situation with Drew, and I know they want to say they're just friends, but I know different. And then she hanging around Drew. Here comes Ming, and then Ming, and now Basketball Wives. And it's just keep on stepping up that ladder, girl.
Do you think Ty ever really loved you?
Yeah, I think she did. I also think she had, she had her reasons why, I'll tell you this, and I should have taken heed when it was given to me. But like early on in our relationship, she told me that she was a fan of mine. This is when we had already started dating. So if someone that you're dating reveals to you that they were a fan of yours, she told me she was watching the show with her girlfriend, and the girlfriend was like, "Is this going to be a problem?"
Oh. Oh, somebody said Ty's going to be on Huntsville next.
My ex and that lady been trying to drag me since we broke up. This just shows their misery and not mine. I don't got nothing to do with that. Let them live their best life. That, don't even worry about it. It's so irrelevant. Like, whatever podcast or whatever they had is irrelevant. We've been broken up almost 3 years. Child. Pish posh.
So you guys just heard that, and it sounds like even though Mimi and Ty was together for 7 whole years, basically they had a divorce or a breakup, I'm sorry, and it seems like Mimi is still taking it a little hard. Mimi thinks that Ty is an opportunist. I think her pausing when Carlos King asked if Ty ever really loved her, I think that spoke volumes. It seems to me, I thought that they were really close and really cool. I get it, breakups happen, y'all not cool no more. But ultimately, I didn't think that the beef still lingered on as much as it did. And as we can see, Mimi is not hearing it for Ty. And Ty is just not entertaining it. According to Ty was just like, girl, that was 3 years ago and we were together for 7 years. Girl, get over it. Build a bridge. But I will say this. Mimi did make a good point as far as her going to Ming after her and this, that, and the third. It does line up. I'll just say that. I don't know if that's the truth, but the timeline does line up. But either way, I think Mimi, if it's been 3 years, girl, just move on. You and Clawfoot Claudia, girl, and go find something else to do, girl. Just move on. Ty ain't the only dagger in the sea, girl. It's filled with daggers in the sea. You get it? Yeah, I just wanted to bring that Ty situation up since we were here discussing Basketball Wives. But anyways, let's move on. Look a Brandy, girl.
Being that you're still don't play in your don't play with me era, like, who is it that's pushing you there? What takes you there this season?
All them hoes did. All them hoes. Everyone except for Ty. Everyone except for Ty. Everyone except for Ty.
Wow.
All of them. At some point, yes.
I'm always...
Pick on me. I don't understand. I don't. Like...
Why is it, Brandy, though, keep it real with me. Like, why is it can't never be woman unity? Why is it always got to be fighting? I just want to know.
It is. We do have a unity, but it's a sisterhood. Okay. So imagine being with your sister 24/7.
Right.
Everywhere you're watching, they're following us everywhere we go.
Right.
You're going to fight?
Yeah, you're right. You're going to fight. All right.
And our big sister is Jackie, so you're going to fight.
So that's where the bar is at.
Yes.
Child, anyway, so after Evelyn decided to call out Jennifer on the show, her and her husband, and basically say that he was scamming, Jennifer decided to go to social media and do a lot of interviews. Her and Christian have a podcast, and she was able to go on her podcast and other interviews and speak her mind. One of the things I think she decided to pull out of the sky is the whole Evelyn hate black women trope. And the reason I'm going to say it's true and false at the same time is because I do believe that about Evelyn. I've always believed that about her for a long time. She definitely don't like confident black women. I'll say that. But secondly, it's false at the same time because I feel like what Jennifer is doing is grasping at straws. She's trying to hold on to anything just for people to have her back. And what she decided to do was in this moment, Pull the black woman trope and pull the old Hispanic girl against the black girl to get people on her side of the argument. But it doesn't hide the fact that you are a fool. Let's get into what Jennifer said as she went live with her husband Christian in response to the situation that basically Evelyn has put her in by blasting her on Basketball Wives. Check this out.
Evelyn really has something against black women. And I'm just going to go ahead and put it out there because I feel like every season she is trying to go in on a black woman. And that's just real.
Yeah, Monty, can you go downstairs real quick and grab something for me? It's in a bag. No. We keep it real. We keep it transparent over here.
I live
downstairs in the media room. When you walk in,
you trying to bring a black woman down. You trying to bring a black man down. Like, cut it out.
So real quick, Armani's.
That's fine. We don't have to prove anything to anybody.
No. Because I love receipts too, and you should too. Let me cover up this card information though, because y'all got to pay for marriage license. Y'all know that though.
All right, fine. It's fine. We don't have to prove it.
Clark County Clerk, Marriage Bureau, boom. That's all you got to see. Screenshot it, zoom in, send it to Shade Room, Neighborhood Talk, whatever you want to do. But y'all know me. I ain't got no filter. Just so y'all see.
So, okay.
Boom. All right, boom. All right. Listen.
Yeah, because it's just like we got a stalker attorney that is uber fucking invested.
All right, so you guys heard that. And one thing I noticed is the theme with Christian is always on here talking about how innocent he is with, semi receipts. I'm calling them semi because we still don't know what that was, at least from this clip. But one thing I will say is, like I said before, Jennifer using the race card on Evelyn, if it was genuinely used, I would be here for it. But something tells me that that's not necessarily the case. I feel like those are allegations that have been levied against Evelyn for a long time. And Jennifer decided, I know this one will hurt. Let me grab this little thing about her and say that that's the situation between her and Evelyn. I don't believe that Jennifer believes that that's truly the situation between her and Evelyn. Because you got to think about it for what it's worth. Jennifer and Evelyn have been friends for a long time. I'm talking 20 plus years. I'm talking these girls have been friends longer than or just about as long as Shawnice was a little bitty girl. Okay? So I'm not believing that Jennifer believes that Evelyn is racist. I believe that she can be, and I believe that she has been, but I don't think Jennifer believes that. I think Jennifer is grabbing at anything she can use to get people to be on her side. And of course, black women is a touchy subject, and that's, I think, why she used that situation. But I don't think that she believes her ex-best friend is a real racist. I don't believe that for 1 second. I think she was just using that, like I said, to get people's attention. But I will say this. At the end of the day, the common denominator is one person and one person only. Well, technically two. One, the common denominator is obviously Christian, because Christian is the new man on the block. He's the new scammer. He's the new person that's going to send this girl's life upside down. And I mean Jennifer for that matter. However, the other common denominator in this situation is Jennifer. Jennifer is a glutton for punishment. And it doesn't matter if you're coming from a genuine place or if you're coming from a negative place or if you're just being conniving. Jennifer don't want to hear nothing. Period, point blank. That's her man. She gonna stick beside him, and that's just that on that. That's why I agree with Jackie Christie when she made those claims, okay? Now, unfortunately, like before, Jennifer's gonna have to touch the stove. Nope. Jennifer's gonna have to hop in the oven with it on full heat in order for her to realize that the stove is hot. And we just need to sit back and wait. That's what I've been saying this whole time. Instead of bashing her, let's just sit back and wait because it's coming. It's not an if, but a when. It's coming. Period, point blank. And Evelyn, being the person who wants to be in a glass house and throw rocks, that didn't quite work in her favor because, girl, Evelyn has had a very long history of failed relationships, failed engagements, failed marriages, failed FOs. You get it? Like, girl, you are not one to talk. I understand that without a doubt. So watching Evelyn and Jen go back and forth is like watching a fight where both of them lose, but we just trying to bet on who gonna lose the worst. Like, it's just pointless. It's super, super pointless. But anyways, not only is Evelyn and Jennifer fighting, Christian has come out swinging, and he is coming out in his own self-defense. Now, he's saying that these things that are being said about him are lies. It's all fake, even though we done all seen it down at the courthouse. You feel what I'm saying? But ultimately, he say it's lies. He wants to talk about his situation as far as his past, because one of the things Evelyn brought out is the fact that he is behind on child support and is not paying his child support. So he speaks about that. He also speaks about the DV situation he was in. We all know that he did time in prison for allegedly having a DV situation with an ex. He speaks on that. He is speaking on everything because I guess he's tired of his name being dragged through the blogs with the truth. I don't know. But either way, he's going to speak on that. And the baby mother, the one who's owed the child support, the one who allegedly says that he has been a deadbeat and a scammer to her as well, she ends up responding. But before we get into her, let's get into Christian and what he has to say about the situation in his own defense. You guys, check this out.
It got toxic to the point where I wasn't going to bring this up, but I was actually physically abused, and I could have pressed charges. See, this is the thing that men don't come out and talk about. We're told to shut the fuck up, right? And not talk about it. But I was actually physically abused, which I actually have on video, right? Because because here's the thing about domestic disputes, whether it's the male or the female. Typically, if the male is causing some type of force or inflicting any type of physical suffering or injury on a woman or a female, the cops get called. No matter if you have bruises, marks, whatever, the man gets locked up. He gets put into custody. I could have been that person and said, you know what? This is physical assault. I could call the police and get you locked up. But no, I didn't do that because at the end of the day, I don't wish it on anybody. And number two, I would not do that to the mother of my kids. And I see the kids, it becomes a thing of, oh yeah, most definitely. You could come get them. You guys can spend time with them. It becomes something like, it's like playing tug of war, because 1 week you're good. And then the next week your hormones are all over the place. And then now, oh, you can't see them. Fathers deal with this all the time with single moms because they're bitter. And the bitterness did not start until I got married, right? Because even before Jennifer and I got married, we were trying to work it out. We said we were going to meet up and we were going to establish a written agreement, because when you have a written agreement outside the court, you can go through mediation, you can have a written agreement, you can have an attorney deal with it, you can get it signed off, get it notarized. And guess what? That is the agreement.
Okay, so you guys heard Christian, and basically he's claiming that he suffered DV from his ex. He's talking about things that he's gone through and basically trying to say he's not necessarily the bad guy, that it's kind of like a mutual thing with the back and forth with those two. But I'm gonna be honest, I'm not buying it, especially after hearing what his baby mama had to say when she came out. Her story made a little bit more sense to me, well, a lot more sense to me, and I want to share that with y'all, and then we're gonna get into Christian's response. Check this out.
My issue with people is that you think that you can go into somebody's house, build a relationship, get close to those people, and then walk the fuck out and throw a grenade in that bitch and light it on fire, and then you turn around and look back like you did nothing. You take no responsibility for what you've done to cause chaos in people's lives. That's my issue that I have. Because if we really want to talk about it, we have receipts, text messages, conversations showing where you have disrupted the peace in people's homes. That's why you owe people money. You owe your own children money. You owe your own children so much back pay because you don't take responsibility for what you're supposed to do as a father, as a businessman. That's why we're speaking up. So y'all can give zero f***s all you want. So get ready. Because yes, I am mama. I am taking care of these babies. And guess what? I want you to live your best life. Do what you want to do. Travel, see the world, live your best life. But stop causing chaos in other people's lives and not taking responsibility for what you have to do to fix it. Fix it. Stop not paying people back. Stop ignoring the fact that you owe child support. Stop pretending like, oh, life is so grand and we're rich and we have all this money and we're just living our best lives and we don't care what we're doing to everybody else. We're just la 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 la, just everybody. We're living our best life. Okay, keep living your best life, but guess what? We're coming for you. We're coming for you because you still owe money. You still need to take responsibility, and if you don't want to do it, we're going to make you.
All right, so that was the baby mama, and basically what she's saying is he's not doing what he's supposed to do as the father to his kids. He's just not, and basically, he left behind a lot of stuff when he decided to just up and go over there and live the quote-unquote good life with Jennifer. And I'm pretty sure his kids are affected as well. Child. Anyway, let's get into Christian's response to the baby mama's post that we just saw. Check it out.
What's good, people? I guess I can say the haters are going to hate. To be completely honest, I actually want to be on child support so we can stop the back and forth. So, yeah. I just posted a video on my stories last week about a mom. She had her son's father over. Maybe it was the daughter. I don't know. Daughter or son. The father was over. And I'm not saying that we got to be best friends, but it was just the maturity in the relationship. You know what I mean? Like, things didn't work out, but just because things didn't work out doesn't mean that you try to harm the lives, harm my life or talk bad about the father of your children. To all the people that see what the blogs put out, they only put out certain things, but now I'm here to tell you the true story. And also I will be filming on our YouTube and I will be posting all of the receipts. So there is currently no child support order. There's no child support order. I've been waiting on a child support order so we can continue to do things as the court puts in place. Because once the court puts it in place, neither one of us want to back out of that because there then becomes legal consequences, right? Neither one of us want that. Sure, not me, because I've dealt with enough legal consequences in my past. It was posted on the blogs by Evelyn that I skipped court twice. I've been to court multiple times in regarding child support, right? I've been to court, right? I also went to court for abandonment charge because she claimed that there was abandonment, okay? You cannot get locked up for abandonment if there is no child support order. So everyone on this live, I want you to understand something. What you see on the internet is all fabricated, right? It could be true. Some of it could be true, but it's not the full thing. It's not the full spruce of everything, right? They show you what they want to show you so they can create drama, right? And I don't come on this thing and speak like that. You see my feed, I post positivity, I inspire. That's what I've been doing, right? Now, let's get into the nitty gritty. 2020, my children's mother, my daughter and my son, we start dating. More so toward the end of 2019, right before the pandemic, we start dating. Things were good, of course. Things are always good at first in most relationships. Sometimes they don't stay that way, and I'm not saying everything should be perfect, but things were great. And of course, the relationship, it took its toll. I don't know what postpartum feels like. I'm not here to talk bad on my children's mother because I don't know what postpartum feels like. I don't know what women have to deal with internally when it comes to hormones. I don't know, right? I can only be there to support, right? But also having to navigate my own life, right? My own life traumas and my own life experiences. I was showing up for myself, but also trying to show up for my kid's mother as well. That turned out to be toxic. There was a lot of insecurities involved, of course, with her thinking I'm dealing with other women when I really wasn't. I was really just a stay-at-home dad, living a private life. And that's all I cared about, was just being home, running my business, and making sure my kids were taken care of. That got toxic to the point where I wasn't going to bring this up, but I was actually physically abused and I could have pressed charges.
Okay, so you guys heard Christian, and basically what he's saying is that those things are lies, that he didn't technically abandon his children because there's not an order for child support. Honestly, legally, if that's true, then I can see what he's saying. But morally, are you there for your kids? That's what I really want to know. Are you in the crib, or are you at least available for your kids? I heard he got 2 boys, right? Or something like that. Like, you should be physically there for your kids, but it looks to me, and I'm just going outside of the box, it looks to me like you have just been going live your best life with Jennifer in this new marriage. Y'all living happily ever after, and whatever obligations or whatever else you had going on prior to, it seems to me like none of that matters. And that's just from the outside looking in. I couldn't imagine being one of those children who's gonna grow up and see that their daddy was all on social media, all on the internet, all on TV with his new wife, and left me with my mama. That's gonna cause for a lot of resentment, I'm telling you now, because the internet never forgets. So the children will be able to see this. And I'm not gonna lie, as far as Jennifer, I want to say Jennifer is just as bad, if not worse, than Christian, because Jennifer's not even pushing Christian to be there, or at least it seems she's not pushing him to be there for his children. But put a pin in Jennifer. I want to get into Christian's aunt. Now, I've heard about this aunt. If this is the same aunt, then I heard about this aunt. They say if this is the same aunt that I heard about with Christian, that this lady be in everybody's bushes. This lady goes and battles everybody. Do you hear me? This is what they said. I didn't say it. So they say this lady don't play about Christian, and she act like she his mama, but she really like a play auntie or something like that. I don't know. But either way, she wanted to come out and address Evelyn because she felt like, Evelyn, girl, keep my nephew name out of your mouth as far as felonies, because, girl, you and your daughter have a whole felony war going on over there, or something like that. Let's get into what she had to say, y'all. Like the video. Check this out.
Okay? Why don't you talk about what's going on in your house? Like, your baby daddy, go pay his artists. He owe his artists. Don't he his failed record company? Like, dude, don't you owe Meg? Don't you owe these people? Go pay these people. Won't you worry about that? Like, your daughter is living in the house with you. Y'all don't get no financial support because all his checks going to BMI. Why don't you talk about these kind of things? Like, I don't know. You're so invested in what Jen and Christian got going on, but you don't want to talk about the things that's going on in your household.
Well, you don't want nobody else to talk about the things.
Yeah. You say I shouldn't talk about your daughter. The game has fucked you and your daughter. Okay. Right. They got pictures where you and Tiffany and Shawnee and your daughter is all there while you was pregnant. But then your daughter go and the same dude you done who y'all friends, like he done ran a train on y'all at this point. You know, I'm just saying, like, you know, don't your baby daddy owe people's money, drown in his goddamn pool. He got sued for that. It's a lot of topics that we could talk about. Bitch, Evelyn, you was pregnant with Carl's child at the same time his own daughter was just 5 months old. Bitch, do the math. Talk about that. He was with his ex while you was pregnant. Talk about that. There's so much other shit that you could be talking about. Jen, Christian and this girl was broken up before he even got with Jen. But you around here, nigga, who got a wife. And his child 5 months, and you 6 months pregnant. Bitch, can you add? But that's just who you are. You talk about everything, but let me tell you something, bitch. You go low, I'm going straight to hell. I can give a
Ooh, child. Now that was the auntie, and she had a lot to say. Baby, alleging that Evelyn and her daughter both smashed the game. And also adding the timelines of Evelyn being 5 or 6 months pregnant while her so-called friend's baby is only 5 months old. And listen, that industry is very nasty and very vile, so none of this surprises me, and none of this is hard to believe. I'm gonna just be completely honest with y'all. But I believe the aunt. I believe everybody has some truth on them. I ain't gonna lie. That Gene Deal looking nigga behind her, the one I thought was Gene Deal, who was adding his little 1-2 yin in there. At first, I thought he was just there, for safety purposes. But once I saw him add his little 1-2 in, I said, oh, he messy like her. So I don't know if that's her husband or not, but whatever it is, y'all are a match made in heaven. Do you hear me? But baby, Auntie came out swinging, baby. Yes, she did. She said what she said. And at the end of the day, she's right. Evelyn is the last person to talk, because Evelyn should probably sweep in front of her own front door before running around here trying to be Captain Save-A-Hole to Jennifer. Because, girl, somebody needs to come save you, okay? But anyway, speaking of Jennifer, let's get back on her really quickly, because I have something to say before we get out of here. Now, as it pertains to Jennifer, I would like to say this, and this is coming from a woman, a mother, a human, a black woman, a black person, however you want to frame it. While I am of the belief that a person, a human, an adult is only responsible for their own actions, I must say that influence plays a part. And on the positive end of the spectrum, one would say behind every great man or great black man is a great black woman. And I believe the opposite is the same too. Behind every crazy, ain't crap, horrible man is a crazy, ain't crap woman. And this is the part that I will give to Jennifer. Jennifer being the single person, Jennifer being a woman, Jennifer being black, Jennifer being a human being is allowing Christian, from what I know, is allowing Christian to abandon his responsibilities as a father, as a businessman, as a person, as a human being, and as a black man. She's allowing him to do those things because right now it benefits Jennifer. Jennifer wants to be love bombed. Jennifer wants that happily ever after. You can tell Jennifer is one of those girls who dreamed about this since she was a little bitty girl. The problem is at what cost. Jennifer doesn't mind if it means 2 children won't have a father, as long as Jennifer receives a husband in the end. You see, women like Jennifer are very selfish themselves. Even if Jennifer had kids, I'd probably bet that she probably wouldn't be as involved in her children's life as long as a man is involved, because when she gets a man, like other women, he becomes the number one priority. He becomes the beginning and the end, the alpha, the omega, the beginning of the day and the end of the day. And women like these are not shy about being selfish. And what happens is Jennifer comes along, she's already has a name, she already has some sort of fame, some sort of clout. She's already got everything she needs, but the one thing she's missing is the man. And this man, Christian, is very attractive. He seems to be very people-oriented, very grounded, and he also is great arm candy. And not only that, someone as attractive as Jennifer and as accomplished as Jennifer wants a man on her arms who looks like Christian so that she can present him to the world as if she's made it, as if she's got the prize, as if she's beat the game. But the fact of the matter is, Jennifer hasn't beat anything. Jennifer hasn't won anything. Jennifer is on a temporary emotional roller coaster that's going to take her up and down, topsy-turvy, until it spits her out at the end of the ride, leaving her stuck, ducked, and stupid, okay? And women like Jennifer will continue to repeat this path because they never understand, nor do they realize that the rocky road that they just come off is really probably what's the detriment to them, okay? And as far as Jennifer not forcing, even though she shouldn't have to, but as far as Jennifer not forcing Christian to be an active father and be in his children's lives, that tells me everything I need to know about Jennifer. Because let me say this. If Christian has 2 small babies and Jennifer was really the loving, caring woman that she claims to be, then there will be photos, there will be outings, there will be Christmas pajamas, there will be travel with the kid. There will be a lot of things that's inclusive to his past, which are his kids. But we've never seen any of those things. You know why? Because Jennifer doesn't care. Jennifer has detached herself from part of her womanhood that empathizes and sympathizes with children. And again, this is just my speculation, but it seems to me that she's detached herself from that empathy towards a parent and children, and she doesn't care because right now it's working out in her favor, and she could care less if those kids have the father in their lives or not, because right now it works for Jennifer. And women like her typically end up alone, or they end up heartbroken, or they end up jacked up worse than they were in the beginning. Women like Jennifer's fate are already written out and left for them, and women like Jennifer typically fare out well in every aspect in their lives except their love lives. They end up being beautiful, gorgeous, successful, have everything they want except the one thing that they've always wanted, which is love. And those women typically are Jennifer, okay? Now, mind you, Jennifer's in her 50s. She's not a spring chicken. Neither is her husband. However, I feel like the way that this was done was messed up, jacked up, and I'm just gonna sit back and eat my popcorn and wait for the big reveal. The big reveal is whatever Christian does to smite her, because he will do something, simply because Jennifer is extremely attracted to men who want something out of her, but they don't want her. Like I said, as a mother, this just don't sit right with me for Jennifer to walk around like this, but there are plenty of women who do it all the time. So who am I? But with that being said, that's what I gotta say about the situation. I don't know what's gonna happen between Jennifer and Evelyn, nor do I know what's gonna happen between Jennifer and Christian, even though I can kind of guess what possibly could happen here. Jennifer may not see it now, but she will see it later, that she might have messed up on the type of men that she's running behind, and she definitely might have messed up on the one that she chose to jump the broom, who she's really not really married to, but they had a whole ceremony. And by the way, let me add this in too before I get off of here. Somebody came on, and I'm going to play the video, and they were speaking about how these people on these reality shows go off to these places foreign and they get married, and it turns out it's not real, and they want to know why. Let me tell you why. See, a lot of y'all haven't caught on to what's really happening, but reality TV are the new soap operas. It's all made up. It's dipped in a little smidget of real, but most of it is reality, and it's all fake. The cars, the marriages, the families, the relationships, it's all fake. Newsflash, spoiler alert, it's all fake. Not only that, it's all scripted for TV. So you may wonder, OMG, she took the Yandy approach, or OMG, this one took that approach or that approach, because it's all written and it's all scripted, baby. This is all for your entertainment pleasures and your entertainment pleasures only. But neither here nor there. Y'all drop down in the comments and let me know what y'all think. I'm going to play a few videos from a few people who have something to say about this situation, and I'm going to leave the conversation up to you guys in the comment section. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch y'all hoes on the next one. Bye.
I never wanted it, because I did see some things online where I was like, where people were like, oh, she's using Jennifer for a storyline. In all the years of Basketball Wives, I have never needed Jennifer for a storyline. Yeah. Jennifer barely has a storyline herself. And that's just what it is. You know, sometimes you have more things going on than... It depends on what time, when we're filming.
I just feel like the word storyline is just overused.
Because
it's just like... we're making a show.
Yeah.
So it's whatever is currently going on that we need to address.
Right.
So.
And also, but I try to have, and you know, and even Brooke knows, because we were all kind of seeing this as it was happening live. I wanted to have a conversation, which I talked about on the show privately. So I tried to dead this, talk about it. I never wanted this to be a thing on the show, because if I did, why would I want to speak to you privately about this? You know, and her comments were just, I'm not surprised though. Jennifer, that's what Jennifer does. Like, she's on interviews and she talks big girl tough shit, but then when she's in front of you, she's a totally different person. She did it to Malaysia like last year when she was doing this interview and calling her a big back. And meanwhile, Malaysia hasn't talked about Jennifer in the longest. So
I will say this though, piggybacking back what you said, I will say that I don't think the audience is, it's if you're watching the show and they don't know you, it's quick to like jump to conclusion that you're trying to make everything into a story or this and that. I think sometimes, maybe. But I'm being, in all honesty, yeah, because this is our job. This is what you do. But in the Jennifer situation, I'm not saying this because I'm here, guys. I'm not saying this because I'm here. Evelyn did not want to talk about Jennifer or Christian in a negative way, in a positive way, in any way. Like, so it kind of did bother me at the beginning of filming. Yeah. Because I'm like, you really did not want to get involved at all. Right. And for you to kind of be in a sticky situation like this. And I remember like at the beginning, she was like, oh, I didn't know. And I'm like, just, you could have picked up the phone.
Right.
And that was for me the breaking point, like where I felt for you, like really, I felt.
It's getting real ugly between Evelyn and Jennifer, and at this point, they dragging everybody in the kitchen sink into their beef. Now, Basketball Wives aired yesterday, and I'm just going to play a tiny clip because I'm not going to do a full recap quite yet. But just know, I don't think Evelyn is telling the full story to her daughter as to why she was brought up between her feud with Jennifer.
I'm here for business. And really, Mom, I'm tired of being brought up in situations that I'm not even a part of.
True. I don't even know why she's bringing you up.
This is like, what, the third or fourth time? I don't understand what her problem is. Actually, I know what her problem is. She's a coward. You're constantly bringing someone up who's not there to defend themselves. And it's not once or twice, it's a few times. I don't get it.
I don't get it either because at my pop-up shop, remember you guys had a conversation, right?
Yeah.
You know, I love you. And I'm sorry that you have been involved.
I appreciate the apology more than you know.
Yeah, I know. You guys are always almost going to make me cry.
That didn't last
She's
long.
So phony.
Yeah.
I don't know how you were friends with that. I feel like because, you know, she wears designer, it makes her look like she has class. Wearing designer does not make you look like you have class. Having class makes you look like you have class.
Now, I thought that scene was interesting because Evelyn doesn't tell her daughter that, oh, yeah, I was talking about Jennifer's husband being an alleged felon, as to how she even got brought up in the conversation. Girl, your mama messy. That's why you keep getting brought up. But it doesn't stop there because after that episode aired, Evelyn had taken to her IG and she had posted some crazy stuff about Jennifer and her husband. Now, first, Evelyn had posted this court document, which was the indictment against Jennifer's husband and why he was being charged with fraud. And you can pause to read all of this, but it's on her IG, and I'm going to read a little bit of it for you. And then I'm going to read you the post that she had posted after she had released those court documents. Now, these court documents are showing the individuals who had sent her husband plus his co-defendants a bunch of Cash Apps and Zelles and Apple Pays and different denominations that were never paid back, that were supposed to go to quote unquote investing. Now, in line item 46, it says, however, the defendant never had a legitimate investment opportunity. Defendant failed to take any action required by accepting the investment, including complying with the administrative and regulatory requirements. Defendant ultimately ceased contact with the plaintiffs and never repaid them their initial investments, much less any amounts he promised that he paid them. The total amount that he did not return is about $120,000. And just below here on line item 57, the government basically says that he created a scheme to prey on these plaintiffs. Now, after posting those court documents, Evelyn came to her IG story and said, now leave me the F alone. I was minding my business today until you started with me and woke me up. So either fall back or we can keep going. Evelyn then says, last post on this, to try and ruin someone's happy engagement by dragging it onto your Basketball Wives goofy-ish is dirty work. But don't worry, karma's coming, stank breath. But of course, Evelyn wasn't done because she had posted then deleted something that looked like Jennifer's husband's child support order, which is also crazy. But later on this evening after trial, I'm going to do a full recap of episode 3 of Basketball Wives.
I don't even watch Basketball Wives. And that's only because it was once this show that was really good and interesting about seeing how they live their life and what they be doing and how they make their money, to now it's just straight cats fighting, bickering and arguing about shit that don't even make sense. I'm seeing bits and pieces of the Evelyn and Jen story and how Evelyn keep going out her way to bring up stuff about Jen's husband, that he's a fraud and he's a scam. I've never seen somebody so invested in somebody else's relationship. Like, that's what's crazy to me. I've never seen somebody who can always call out everybody else, and then the moment they call her out, now she's going straight to hell on everybody. Like, you can't talk shit and don't think that people ain't gonna talk shit about you and yours too. You know what I'm saying? Even though I believe that kids should definitely be off topic when people are into it, never bring kids into it. But Evelyn's daughter isn't a kid, she's an adult who just had a child. So I didn't quite get that. She was like, kids are off topic. Like, no, that's a grown woman, number one. But you touch on everybody in their situations. Like, you always have, and you always go to hell when you touching on these situations about the other women on these shows. Like, she's a straight bully. Like, I don't know if anybody really is her friend or she consider anybody to be her friend besides Shawnee. And I feel like Shawnee is her friend because she probably wants to be Shawnee, and she ain't gonna come after Shawnee ever. Ever. Never. Never. She gonna go out after all the other girls, but she ain't gonna never touch on Shawnee. But I just feel like sometimes misery loves company. And even though to me, Evelyn is very beautiful, very beautiful, it be those that be so unhappy with themselves. Those who feel like, why them and not me? And I'm supposed to be this type of person. You know what I'm saying? But all of that cat talk that she does, that's what makes her ugly. All of that bullying that she does, that's what makes her ugly. Like, I don't get it. I've never seen a woman so invested in everybody else's business the way that she is. And I thought Jen was really her friend. Like, didn't her and Jen supposed to have been really best friends? Now, I told y'all, I don't watch the show like that. But when I did watch it, her and Jen were like supposed to be best friends. And I guess to me, Jen could only be her best friend if she stayed quiet and let her pick on her and do what she do. Right? Because I never seen her go toe-to-toe with a worthy opponent to me. Jen is not that opponent because Jen is really laid back and she not on that. And regardless of whatever her men got going on, that's their business. Why you so invested in telling her who not to marry when you've had many failed attempts at relationships and marriages? Many. So, I don't know. You guys tell me what's y'all point of view on that Jen and Evelyn. I really think it's misery loves company type of shit.
Mr. Carroll, how you give the voodoo doll time to talk? I don't get no fucking time to talk.
Who the voodoo doll is?
The nigga you just had up here.